Greetings. My name is Stephen Imes, and this class is World Regional Geography with Professor Smith. What we're going to be talking about today is Asia, not just any part of Asia, but we're going to be talking about East Asia, and not just talking about East Asia only, but we're going to be talking about the physical attributes and makeup of East Asia, along with the economic makeup and attributes of East Asia. Let's start with saying hello. So if you are from Japan, I would say konnichiwa. If you are from Korea, kamsahamnida. And if you happen to be in China at this point in time, and ni hao. Those are three ways that you can actually say hello in those three languages. And starting with Japan, we're looking at the economy. Japan's economy is very similar to the United States. It's a free economy. People, you probably own stuff from Japan, cameras. They make excellent cameras, excellent televisions, vehicles, cars, Toyotas, and different things like that come out of that particular area. Or you could be talking about China. China is more of a socialist country, state-owned, and it's a little bit different. It's not as free, but it's not like Korea, in which Korea is pretty much commanded by the government commands Korea. So anything that comes in and out of there is not going to be nearly as free as China or, of course, Japan. But all three of them are very, very lucrative. Now, when you're thinking about the economic tigers, the economic tigers are a group of places in East Asia. They were named that specifically because of how much wealth they actually bring to the country. Singapore, Taiwan, South Korea, Hong Kong. Those are going to be the areas that are actually going to be labeled as the economic tigers. I would like to bounce back up and talk about, speaking of up, let's go up into the mountains. Let's talk about the Himalayan mountains. And this is one of the, I wouldn't say 9th or 10th wonders of the world, but it's one of the places that actually changes the game when you think about infrastructure as far as land is concerned. The Himalayan mountains are huge. Within the Himalayan mountains and very close to it, you have Mount Fuji and you have Mount Everest. So the Himalayan mountains being the biggest mountain range on the face of the earth, and then you couple that with the tallest mountain range, which would be Mount Everest. And you put those together, and then now you're dealing with an area in East Asia that holds all of that. But it not only has the highest points, but it also has the lowest points as well. There's a Grand Canyon, similar to the Grand Canyon that you know from the United States, except it's much, much different. It's called the Yarlin Zango Grand Canyon. And it is the deepest point on the earth. And that's one of the reasons why I chose East Asia, because not only do we have the highest, but we also have, I would guess, the lowest or the deepest point on the planet, all on one coast. Speaking of coast, that's one of the reasons why East Asia is so profitable. Throughout the years, they've actually been able to not only protect themselves using the Pacific waterways, but they've also been able to trade. Being a member of NAFTA, North American Trade Agreement, associations come from all over the world to actually trade with East China. Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it East China, but East Asia. But China is one of the biggest, if not the biggest country on the planet. East Asia is the second largest country with approximately 1.6 billion people, which makes up almost a little bit more than 22% of the entire population of the world. So I'm thinking that maybe we should get out there and think about speaking some type of Mandarin or some type of dialect that comes from this area if you don't already do so. What I would like to do is finish off this report with showing you how to go about saying goodbye in the three different languages that we started. Zengniga, that's Chinese. Sayonara, we in Japan. And Anyo would be Korean. But before we leave, I just want to point out that the terrain in these areas are going to be extremely harsh in some situations. When we're talking about cold in the mountains, but we have a vast desert as well. And if you don't know, in the desert during the daytime, it can be temperatures can be excruciating, extremely hot. And during the evening, they can be extremely cold. So what I would like to do is say thank you very much for listening to my presentation on East Asia. And I would love to get a call from anybody that's watching this. And if you want to take a trip to East Asia, please book me. I have my passport and we'll be ready to go. Once again, my name is Stephen Imes, and this presentation has been on East or Eastern Asia. Thank you very much.